She killed her own infant baby to blame the empress. Then she had the empress locked up, cut off her hands and feet, and tossed her body in a wine jar. After that, she took the throne and kept punishing anyone who got in her way. Believe it or not, Wu Zhao started as a concubine at 14 years old and ended up becoming the first and only female emperor in China's entire history. But what's more interesting was how she did it. So, how did a former concubine become a king? Let's rewind a little. 5 years before it all happened, Wu Zhao was just one of many concubines to Emperor Taizong. Unlike the others though, she was smart and bold. The emperor liked that about her, so he made her his secretary. This gave her access to everything, and that's when she started craving power. But just as she was getting her plan together, the emperor died. According to tradition, the emperor's son would take over, and Wu Zhao, like all the other concubines, was sent to a temple to honor the late emperor. She had to shave her head and live there for the rest of her life, but she wasn't about to stay there forever. One day, the new empress wanted her back as a concubine, and that's when her real plan started. The first thing she did after she got back was make a lot of friends in the palace. Because she charmed everyone, the empress liked her, but even more so, the emperor did. Wu Zhao easily gave him 4 sons, and that made him happy. She had a 5th child after that, and this time it was a girl. A few days after she was born, Wu Zhao walked to the nursery, looked at the baby, and smothered her to death. Then she screamed for help. When everyone rushed in, Wu Zhao pointed at the empress because she visited her a few minutes ago. She blamed the empress by accusing her of killing the baby. The emperor believed her, and soon everyone in the palace did too. Everyone except for Consort Zhao. Wu Zhao had the empress and consort locked away, and they spent days in a cell together. She used this opportunity and became the new empress. With her new power, she decided to punish her prisoners and made sure they were dragged out in front of her. She had their arms and legs cut off before throwing their bodies into a wine jar to die slowly. No one, and I mean no one, dared question her after that. Wu Zhao made it clear, anyone who got in her way would be destroyed. Not even her own children were safe. And that's what happened next. Again. Her firstborn son started showing signs that he wanted to take control. Wu Zhao didn't like that. So, when he got sick from a fever, she pretended to care for him, but secretly, she started poisoning his food. Her son died in her arms eventually, and no one understood why. A few years later, her husband, the emperor, became too sick to rule, so Wu Zhao started making all the decisions for him. She told people what to do, and everyone followed her orders. When the emperor finally died, she had already gathered enough power. So much power that when her youngest son was the only one left to rule, she didn't have to sit on the throne to lead. He was more of a figurehead, just sitting on the throne for show while Wu Zhao made all the decisions. Years went by like this as she ruled behind the curtains, but it just wasn't enough. She was itching to sit on that throne. That's when she made her final move. She didn't take the throne immediately. The concept of a woman ruling was considered crazy in ancient China. She knew that if she wanted the throne, she needed a reason for people to accept it. That's when she turned to religion, Buddhism in this case. She promoted a prophecy. A woman sent by the heavens will rule China and bring peace, and made people believe that woman was her. And just like that, they did. So she asked her son to publicly step down and crowned herself emperor. She was the only woman in China to ever do it, and she did it her way.